Now again, the division has priority, so that this guy is going to turn into the log base b of the numerator subtract log base b of the denominator. Again, if you get to see how these things are coming apart, you'll get to see that because this is a minus in front of that z squared, you'll see z in the original problem down in the denominator. Now, this is a product of two things. This is a y to the 1. The only thing being cubed is x. So this is property 3. Now I'm going to break the first one apart using property 1, because a product turns into a sum. Log base b of x cubed plus log base b of y minus log base b of z squared, and that's property 1. Now I've got single factors is what you're looking for, and I'm going to use property 3 to bring all the exponents down. His exponent is 1, so I don't have to worry about him. So this becomes 3 log base b of x plus log base b of y minus 2 log base b of z, and all the exponents are now 1, and this is property 2, and then that's my final answer.
Just give you a final answer.
Oh, the more problems that you work, the more that you'll be able to go from here to here without doing anything in between. Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah. Some of you are going to be good enough you can do that. The next problem is on the hairy edge of college algebra, so that's what makes it much more complicated, because there's a lot of complication involved in the problem, and what you're probably going to do is multiply all the exponents by a third, aren't you? Yeah, so, yeah. And that makes life a lot easier. That makes that problem more like this one. Well, the cube root, this whole thing is the radicand under that cube root. So this is really log base 2 of that whole thing to the 1/3 power. And what is it? It's x squared y cubed w over z to the 4th. Now, what you could do if you wanted to, but most of you have a lot of trouble with this, you have trouble on your reviews, but you could multiply all the exponents by a third. And if you were to take x squared y cubed w over z to the 4th raised to the 1/3 power, this would be equal to x to the 2/3 y to the 1 w to the 1/3 over z to the 4/3, and some of you will be successful in doing that, and then it becomes a problem like the previous one we did, and some of you will not. You know, those of you who are more comfortable with doing this kind of process can move to there, and then it becomes a problem like our previous one. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is you have to be very careful. And like I said, now we're on a hairy edge of the kinds of problems that we do in college algebra, which are much more complicated than what we do here, is that the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the 1/3 down, and this becomes log base 2 now of this thing, which has no fractions in it. But the problem is this, it's 1/3 times this thing, which means when I break this apart, that 1/3 sits on the outside. That's what I mean about it being kind of on the edge of some of the more complicated problems in college algebra, is that then this becomes 1/3, and then I'm going to start taking this guy and breaking him apart so that it is log base 2 of the numerator subtract log base 2 of the denominator. And I've already made a note to myself that I need more space on this for this problem. And now I've got the product of three things. Product turns into a sum. And there's this guy who just has an exponent. So this becomes 1/3. And this breaks into a sum. Log base 2 of x squared plus log base 2 of y cubed plus log base 2 of w minus log base 2 of z to the 4th and the final step of this problem is to bring all the exponents down. So at this point, this was property 3, which was bringing that exponent down. This was property, I'm sorry, that was property. It's property 3 to me, it's property 2 to you. So this is the new property 3. This is property 1. And now I'm going to do property 2 again because I need to bring all the exponents down. This becomes 1/3 times 2 log of base 2 of x plus 3 log base 2 of y plus log base 2 of w, and I'm running out of space, minus 4 log base 2 of z. And then you can wrap it and take 1/3 all the way through. Or leave it. In this class we can leave it. And depending upon what class I'm in, I might take it all the way through because it's going to be too messy to work with otherwise. Not fun. Still a fun problem, but most college algebra level problems are not fun problems. So this is property 2. There are 5 properties altogether.